We're going to talk about the price on ammo, or the cost of ammunition currently right now after our 2024 election. Now the reason I broke these up is because when I did the video on the low cost of firearms, ammunition is kind of touch and go. It's not the same across the board, much like the firearms are. And the crux of the matter is ammunition, it's what's being used the most and sold the most will be the least expensive. Okay. Now, we all know 9mm is king, be it these polymer handguns, striker fired guns. There's every company that makes handguns makes some sort of version of this. And also 9mm is used by just about all the police forces. A lot of the militaries use 9mm. It's a universal round, heavy usage. So that means they make more of it. If they make more of something, there's a surplus and it's cheaper. Okay. When it comes to handguns, a lot of the calibers that, being that we collected mil surplus, a lot of the calibers that were dirt cheap, 7.62 by 25, 9mm Mac, okay, and some even the traditional calibers like 38 Special and that are not in that category. So when you're looking for deals on ammo right now, 9mm, okay, is the market's flooded. They got tons of it. The reason is the handguns are so popular, the demand was so high, they concentrated their manufacturing onto that. And now that the economy's dropped off, you can get, now I was checking on AmmoSeek, that's where I'm getting these prices, just a rough idea. 9mm you can get from $9 to $10 a box. I think you can even get it under $9 if you go with steel case. There's a lot of companies putting steel case ammo out, okay? For those of you that really don't care and don't reload, but some people really don't like running steel cased ammo in their guns. Okay, but $9 to $10 a box. You can catch sales. I mean, like a case is $230 something with the shipping. You might get popped with the sales tax, but 9mm is cheap. And this also comes from the fact a lot of people that don't know much about firearms, when they go to buy a concealed carry gun, like women, I remember I was talking to this woman at the Legion, and the salesman told her, like a 380 or something's inadequate. You want a small, compact 9mm. Okay, henceforth, they're very popular guns, concealed carry and all that other stuff, and so 9mm is king, and it's also the cheapest. Now, like 380 is also a good caliber. A lot of people knock it and they try to convince you to buy a 9 other than some sort of 380, be it a little tiny pocket gun or a mid-sized pistol, which is still a good defense gun. But 380 is going at the bottom end for about $15 a box. I remember a friend of mine, when he was discussing buying a handgun, the guy said, I don't know whether to get a real small compact 9 or a 380 is similar size, and he said don't do it because the ammunition is $5 more for 50 rounds, okay? And that's kind of the way it is. If you look, 38 Specials, $20 a box. 9mm Makarov, $20 a box. And 7.62 or 7.65 by 25, 7.62 by 25, the Tokarev cartridge is $25 to $30 a box. Okay, and that's for commercially produced factory ammo, reloadable brass. That's a tough one because I went to look up reloading it and reloading it cost about the same, buying new components, new brass and that. So as you see, there are some deals out there, and if you use 9mm, now is the time to buy it. It's going to be hard to find other calibers. Now when we get into the rifle rounds, there was a point there, it was either last fall or something, I got some 5.56 of the last run they did before the president barred them from selling any surplus, but Winchester made it, Lake City, the 62 grain bullet. And I remember I got that case for about what it was, you know, 3 something. You know, that's back in the old days when you used to get that surplus ammo for about $300 some for 1,000 rounds. Now, and that's not Lake City, I just like PMC or something, it's $500 for the 62 grain bullet for 1,000 rounds. So 5.56, like some of the 55 grainers are 45 cents a round, and the 62 grainers are running about 50 cents a round currently, according to AmmoSeek. And that's, you know, at this point in time, you may find a sale or you may find a flash sale. Sometimes you find a flash sale and can get a buy, but you're looking at 50 cents a round. 7.62 by 36, even steel case and surplus stuff, you're looking again at 50 cents a round. I remember, you know, buying that stuff dirt cheap. It ain't cheap either. So your AKs and your SKSs, you know, you're going to pay. 308 or 7.62 by 51 on the low end is 60 to 80 cents, depending on what you buy, what brand or what type of ammo. But like the FMJ, you know, surplus and that, it's up there. Then let's not forget our old friend, the 7.62 by 54 for our Mosin Nagants. That stuff is 70 to 85 cents a round on the low end of it. Okay, the days of the super cheap surplus 440 round spam cans, you know, are gone. So the ammo is kind of a weird thing. Some stuff is out there, it's not that expensive and they're a deal, but most of it, the price is pretty steep. It's not like it was years ago. I doubt a lot of these calibers would be coming down, like the 9mm Mac. A lot of that was surplus stuff or made by foreign countries. There's a lot of embargoes. There's a lot of other political, economic issues. You know, we're not getting nothing from Russia. Okay, they stopped the importation of that. And with these new tariffs he's talking about, I don't know how that's going to affect foreign-made ammunition. Okay. And, you know, some calibers, now we have some, you know, I got a nice collection. I got several guns, a 9mm Mac. I have several guns in the Tokarev 7.62 cartridge. And a quick investigation of buying some new brass and loading it up. It's going to cost me about as much as the new stuff, but the only thing is, once you get the brass, you probably get about 4 or 5, I don't know, I've never reloaded it. Say you get 4 or 5 pops out of it, that's 26 cents. Say with shipping, 30 cents a round you're saving to reload. But reloading's another thing, because that's also, it's probably the worst situation compared to just basic the ammo and the firearms. But the ammunition is out there. You can find it, okay? But the cost on most of it, stuff that isn't super popular, like 9 and, well, 380's popular, but it's $5 more a box on average. I don't even want to get in a 44 Magnum or 45 Colt, or the larger calibers. Or I forgot I didn't look up 40 or 40 Smith and Wesson there. What that runs, but that's usually higher. 45 ACP, again, they're going to be up there. It always has been. I forget. I'm sorry I left that out, but it's just to give you an idea. So, if you find a deal, stock up on it. But the prices, I believe, are they going to come down? Like I said, a lot of things going on. Trade wars, talking about tariffs. A lot of countries, they have sanctions on them, so we're not getting products out of a lot of the old communist countries or countries that we're arguing with right at the moment. That may or may not change, and I don't know about this tariff situation, because there's a lot of items out there that are foreign made, both in the ammunition and reloading department. So that's my thoughts on it. Depending on the caliber, it's still rough. It's still pretty pricey. But if you got a 9mm probably is the best bet right at the moment, because the market's flooded with 9. The shotgun shells I got for about, I was buying them, the foreign made ones, it was, I think it was $20 for 25 rounds, 80 cents a piece or something, where a lot of the shotgun shells, the buckshot and double-aught buck and that, were well over $1 during the height of the crisis, $1.25, $1.50. 410 shotgun shells, the specialty ones like buckshot and all these weird things that go in the pen, they're quite expensive. Okay, and actually, it's one thing to reload birdshot with a little cup is pretty simple, but some of the like slugs and buckshot or larger shot could be a little bit on the tricky side to reload these shells also. And also a lot of the shells that are foreign made really are not durable or of the quality to be reloaded. I know these 12 gauge ones like Fiocchi and that, I wouldn't even try to reload them. They're very flimsy, the plastic isn't that good on them. And then again, the cost of reloading shotgun shells also is more expensive than buying some of the off-brands. Way more expensive. Alright, so that's my thoughts on ammo. It's very, how can I say, disproportionate. Some things are extremely expensive and difficult to find, some calibers, some types of ammo, and some ammo is plentiful and out there, mostly the defensive stuff, the 9mm 12 gauge, and 5.56 is up to about 50 cents a round. It used to be about 30, but inflation or whatever, things do cost more. And I don't see a lot of surplus stuff floating in, you know what I mean? That too. And a lot of the surplus stuff is foreign made. So tariffs and that coming up in the future, don't know if it's going to get worse, don't know if it's going to get better. Okay, it's a tough call. But that's the way it is here, in November in 2024. All right, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.